We had ourselves a little idea.
Did you know?
Yeah, we're going to go back to Newton Haven.
Why?
For some unfinished business.
That's a joke, right?
5 guys, 12 pubs, 50 pints.
60 pints.
Oh, steady on your fucking alky.
I haven't had a drink for 16 years, Gary.
You must be thirsty then. But we can go back, see the guys, chew the fat, it'll be just like it always was. Except this time, we are going to finish this thing once and for all.
You have a very selective memory, Gary.
Thanks.
You remember the Friday nights. I remember the Monday mornings.
Yeah, that's why we're going back on a Friday.
Why do you think none of us live in Newton Haven anymore?
Oh.
Because it is a black hole. It's boring. It always was and it always will be.
It's only boring because we're not there.
It's pointless arguing with you.
Exactly. So come.
Well, guys, thank you so much for meeting me. It's great to meet you both, and
It's a
such
pleasure.
a pleasure to have you in Dublin. You've brought the weather with you from the UK.
We did, in a suitcase.
It's so nice. But congratulations on the fantastic third part to the Cornetto trilogy. I just have to ask you how fantastic it is for you to have the whole gang back together again.
It's a treat. It's always nice to work with your friends because you get to, being on set is a daily fun thing. And working with the guys on this, bringing in Martin and Eddie and Paddy and Rosamund, was just a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Simon, let me tell you, it was a lot of fun. In rehearsals, we just sat around essentially for 3 or 4 weeks and just laughed, just listened to Eddie and Paddy talking, and we just had a great laugh.
And when you're in that pub scenario and you're all sitting around with your fake pints, is it hard to get work actually done when you've so many kind of comedic talents among you, having the crack basically?
Can I be boring and say, no, it isn't hard to get that done? We're the thing that Edgar, Simon and I all share is we have a very strong work ethic, so you're there to work. Is it fun? Absolutely, but you're there to work,
Sometimes it's hard for Edgar if Paddy is talking right up until the point of someone saying action, which he often does, to a hilarious effect. But for us, we are at work.
You have to get the
Guys.
That's Edgar.
Put you here on set.
Oh no, but you make it seem so fun. I mean, I'm sure everybody, since you've been promoting the movie, just wants to go for a pint with you and have the crack. You make it look like such a good time.
I would hope that the death-defying adventures in the film...
That might put people out.
Yeah, they might. I wouldn't say this film is particularly it shouldn't really inspire everyone to go on a pub crawl because it isn't necessarily a good thing in this film, but...
it can have quite disastrous.
Yeah, if we come across as being guys that you want to hang out with, that's very sweet.
We're nice guys, be it pub crawl or just coming around for a barbecue.
Okay.
Or a cup of tea.
It would be
cup of tea, that's
equally
always
as
good.
fun.
So your characters are unlike anything that we've seen so far in the other movies. I mean, you both kind of go against character here, and I've read that you were a bit of a goth back in the day. I mean, how much of you is in Gary, or how much of Gary is in you?
I was a bit of a goth, and it was fun wearing those clothes because in fact, dyeing my hair black was the one thing I didn't do at 18,
really?
which I kind of wanted to do, but I never did. And so doing it for this was a sort of, it was putting to bed a long dead goth ghost for me. But there's a little bit of Gary in me, and a little bit of me in Gary. I think Gary is someone I could have been, probably.
Things turned out slightly better for you?
I would hope so, yeah. But I like Gary. And Gary is annoying, and a lot of people say, "Oh, Gary's so." But there's a sweetness in Gary. He's a very desperate kind of, there's heartbreak at his centre, and you can't help. I can't help but sympathise with him because all his bravado is a carapace of self-confidence surrounding a deep, deep tragedy.
Yeah, very true.
Comedy.
And Nick, I was very impressed with your action scenes. I mean, because at some point in the movie you do get quite bladdered,
Sure.
and you're fighting with the stools,
stools,
and you're the aim is not to spill a pint, and you have to act like you're so completely out of your mind. I mean, how challenging is that to do both the comedy, the being pissed, and the action together?
It is quite difficult. We did rehearse it. We had to kind of rehearse what it was like to have 1 drink, then 2, then 5, then 7, then 12. And you had to remember at any one point, and bear in mind you don't shoot this in order, the film. So, before a scene you'd often kind of in your mind just tot up, okay, so we're in pub 7, I've had 5 shots, 2 pints.
Shots, yeah.
Too much. Boom, let's go. And also you have to take into fact, what are we calling it? The
adrenaline deficit.
The adrenaline deficit.
Okay.
The fact that you just had a big fight, so perhaps you've come round slightly before the drunkenness kicks back in.
It sounds really complicated.
It is very complicated.
Yeah. The newcomers to the movie, to the trilogy, and the original fans are going to be so happy here. But there's quite a few subtle nods and throwbacks to previous collaborations that you've done together. How important is it for you guys to always give that back to the fans?
I think you owe it to audiences these days to make films bear up to repeated viewing. In the age of DVD and what have you, people can literally watch the film over and over and over again, and so you kind of owe it to people to make it that worthwhile. And if you've been with us the whole way, then there will be little things in there, not least the cornetto or whatever, that will be a little message and a little nod out to you. If it's your first time, hopefully you'll be able to backtrack and do the same.
Yeah, but it's the things that I'd want someone to keep watching our films forever, and potentially, there's no one lasts forever, but you hand it on to someone. Hey, have you seen this? I think that would infringe copyright laws, handing on to someone. But just by saying, why don't you see this, or have you seen that? I remember people saying to me, you've got to watch With Nail and I, and then I watched With Nail and I. It was amazing, and then you pass it on to someone else. I think that's the legacy of what we would want for these films.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, guys, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
if you feel like
too.
coming back for the 12 pubs of Christmas in Ireland, you can join my pub crawl then.
Oh,
Love
really?
to have you.
Thank you very much.
And we're back, just like the Five Musketeers.
Three Musketeers, isn't it? Well, nobody knows how many there were, really, do they?
You do know that The Three Musketeers is a fiction, right? Written by Alexander Dumas.
A lot of people are saying that about the Bible these days.
What, that it was written by Alexander Dumas?
Don't be daft, Steve. It was written by Jesus.
Are we there yet?
Let's do this!
They haven't seen each other in 20 years.
I'm free to do what I want.
But tonight, they're returning to their hometown to finish the ultimate pub crawl.
This is our chance to finally conquer the Golden Mile. 12 pubs, 12 pints.
And this time, they're going to make it to the last pub, the World's End.
Go!
Come on. What do you recommend?
Beer.
We'll have 5 of those, please. 4 of those, and a tap water.
What?
Look who it is!
Wow, long time. Gary.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome.
Well, it's weird, isn't it? You come back and everything's sort of different.
I suggest you get on your way.
Welcome home, boys. It's not us that's changed, it's the town! What are you doing? It's all right, I'm not trying to have sex with you. There's something I need to tell you right now. Unless you do want to have sex, in which case I'll tell you afterwards.
Tell me right now. What did he say, Sam? Newton Haven has been taken over by robots. Did you believe him?
We should head back to London. A, we're all drunk. B, we've got blood on our hands. It's more like ink. We've got ink on our hands.
From the creators of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Let's climb down the drain pipe.
I got a better idea. Climb down the drain pipe.
The only way to survive the night is to make it all the way to the World's End.
Where are the others?
They're blending in.
Hello, I am a robot. We're just 5 friends on a night out, having a good time.
The World's End.
What the hell is that? We are going to get to the world's end if it kills us. Oh no!
Doomsday.